Oh, well guys, it is another cold, wet, rainy day out here today. I won't be planting any spring bulbs today, but I'm excited to show you what I've added to my greenhouse for the winter season. Let's go in and take a look. Well, welcome to my greenhouse, everybody. This is a new greenhouse for me this year. I purchased this greenhouse online. It is the Palram Polycarbonate chalet style greenhouse, 10 by 12 with a little foyer area in here in the front. We put it together and built it this summer. I think it was around July that we finally received it and got it up and put together. And I'll put the playlist up above here so that you can see how that went. It was quite simple to put together, really fun, and enjoyed how it's turned out so far. Now that we're heading into the colder months and into the winter season, I have decided that maybe I should try heating this or keeping it at above freezing temperatures for the winter. Started to research some heaters online and found the Palram portable fan heater with a digital thermostat and humidity probe that you can add into your Palram greenhouses. So I added it to my wish list for Christmas, and I might have mentioned it to somebody that I would really like that for Christmas. Well, it arrived the other day at the front door, and I have installed it in my greenhouse. My name is Bonnie. This is Artist in the Garden. Let me show you my new heater that I've added to my greenhouse. So the learning curve has now begun on how to use the heater with the greenhouse in my zone. I'm a 5B in Ontario, Canada, so we do get snow. We're below freezing for a few months in the winter. And the greenhouse, for me, is going to be more of a storage over winter. I don't plan on growing a lot of things in here in the winter. Well, not yet anyways. I might get into that next year. After I figure out the learning curve on how to heat it and how it maintains heat over the winter and snow and freezing temperatures, we might get into some growing over the winter. But for this year, for now, my goal is to just maintain and to overwinter some of my ferns. I've put my Boston ferns in the greenhouse, and we will see if I can get them to overwinter and keep them above freezing. So I've had my heater running for the first night just to see how it would maintain the temperatures. And we have had a few days of cold, wet weather. There's been no sun. It has been miserable outside. I'm patiently waiting for some more nice weather to get out and plant my spring bulbs and my tulips out into the garden. But the other day, this heater arrived at the door, and I've unboxed it and opened it up inside. I was very excited to see this new addition to my greenhouse. So let me take you on a tour of the new Palram digital thermostat heater fan, whatever you want to call it, for my greenhouse. So temporarily, I have it just sitting here on my table. And this is the box that it came in. It says on it, it's well labeled, so I knew exactly what it was when I opened the door and saw it sitting outside. 1500 watt portable fan heater, and it is the Palram heater that goes with my greenhouse. I ordered it from Costco, and the Costco kit comes with the digital thermostat, plug and play temperature control. So it has a probe that you plug in to the digital thermostat, as well as a humidity sensor. So what I've done for now is just set it here on the table, and I've plugged it into my electrical source, and this is where the heater is plugged in. So work 1 is my heater. You can add a second heater or a humidity humidifier, I guess is the word I'm looking for, to plug into work to and program it to work with your humidity sensor. I'm just using it as a heater. So I have my heater plugged in here and it is just sitting down on the floor. But the digital display, and I'm sorry, it's probably flashing with the camera settings. The digital display is currently for me showing what the ambient temperature is in the greenhouse right now, as well as my humidity level, because I have the temperature probe and the humidity probe plugged in. If you don't have a humidity probe to plug in, it will show you what your ambient temperature is and what your temperature is set at, your targeted temperature. So right now the targeted temperature in the default mode is 77 degrees Fahrenheit. We're at 58.6. So to change your settings on your thermostat, you press the set button and it will flash and the yellow light will light up. And then I'm going to lower it down to 60 degrees. So I want it to maintain a 60 degree Fahrenheit so that the heater will turn off once we reach 60 degrees. You leave it for 3 seconds, and once 3 seconds passes, it will default back, and now you're set. It's as easy as that for setting your temperature. We're at 58.6. The heater is running at 60 degrees. It will automatically shut off. So to add in your humidity sensor, it has a spot for a probe 2, so P2, and that's where I'm going to add in my humidity sensor. You just plug it in, and now it records my temperature, my ambient temperature, and what the humidity in the room is set at. So my humidity is 62.7. To see what your threshold is for your temperature, now that you have your humidity probe plugged in, you just press your up button and it'll show you on the first display there that we're set for 60 degrees, and it'll shut off at 60 degrees. So it is quite simple to operate, easy setup. It comes with lots of instructions on how to set it up. It starts with your quick guide, getting started temperature settings, basic use, so just with your temperature probe, your 2 temperatures, your targeted and your ambient temperature on your display. When you're first starting it, you're setting it to heat, which is this dial, and your max setting, which is 1500. And I'll show you on the heater what that looks like. So my heater is plugged into my thermostat, and the heater is just sitting down here on the floor. And it is a beautiful little heater, very simple. It's a barrel heater, so it has the coil and the fan inside. Oh, it's nice and warm. And it has a pivot point here, so you can pivot the heater if you want to change the direction that it's facing. So you just undo your little toggles there. A nice easy handle to lift it up with. It's quite easy to move around, very, very lightweight. And then on the top of the heater are just 2 simple dials like it showed in the diagram. So you have your on-off settings. The 0 is on-off. The fan is fan only, and then the little line is your heat. So you turn it to heat, and to start it with, you turn it to max, which is 1500 watts, and let it run. So it's been quite easy to set it up and maintain. It's been running probably for about 12 hours now, and we are at 59 degrees. So it will go up 1 more degree, and then it'll shut off. We are overcast and raining today, so it's had its work cut out for it. Overnight last night, it maintained the greenhouse at about 53 degrees with no sun yesterday and cold, wet rain. We went down to 4 degrees last night, which is about, what is that, about 38, 39 degrees. And it maintained it at 53 degrees last night. So it ran throughout the night, no problems. It doesn't get hot. You can touch it. The outside of the heater, it's warm to touch, but by no means is it hot. That's a bit hot if I was to hold my hand there. But the outside of the heater itself is not hot to touch. And it is splash resistant, so splash proof as it says here, and it meets your standards. The temperature probe and the humidity probe have really quite long cords, so you can extend them up. I've put them up here and just fastened them to my greenhouse with some zip ties. So this is your temperature probe, just monitoring the ambient air temperature out here. And the humidity sensor is just this little cube with a nice long cord. You've got lots of room that I'll be able to move it around and put it in a more permanent spot once I figure out the complete setup for my greenhouse. Well guys, I am so excited to add this little heater to my greenhouse to maintain a cozy little temperature out here above freezing, and we'll see how the plants do out here. My first year with the greenhouse, it'll be my first winter with the greenhouse. I'll keep you updated on how it does. Thanks for watching. My name is Bonnie. This is Artist in a Garden. We'll see you in the next one, guys. Bye-bye.